Ziggity zig, back with more Tales from the Ladder. This is weirding me out, this crazy thing in over here for Bomdagor's guild clan, or clan tag here for RCBM, but he's up against Dragos over on Overgrowth LE. I switched over the interface so I can tell what map we're actually on. I know we haven't had a Tales from the Ladder in quite some time, but it's just, it's time to get some Tales from the Ladder in. So here's the production right now, and it's coming in on both, and ooh, no, I did not mean to have this one, so maybe I'll switch back to the other default layout. Not the default layout, but not the, this is kind of the split 1v1, and it tells you what's going on both sides, and I don't fully like that, but this is one that Bomdagor sent in, going up against Dragos A Terran, and the title of this one is just called Oh No! So I'm kind of concerned as to what happens here. Looks pretty standard thus far, so Dragos is getting the 10 supply depot up at the top of his ramp. I've been playing a lot of Terran lately, mostly over on Lime Not Lemon, youtube.com/LimeNotLemon, and to know that that is approximately when that is supposed to happen. But what is interesting here is the follow-up of the 3... that does seem a little bit questionable on the maneuvering SCV side. You don't often get that, but since you do know where your opponent is on these 1v1 maps, you can do all kinds of interesting cheese, so this would be the time. And heading up towards 245, once you hit 300, that's going to be 2 barracks, 2 forward barracks down, but oh yeah, there's the first barracks, the second barracks is about to happen right about now. There it is. So 2 barracks, not really an expand, that is more of a, oh yeah, it's very proxy, because what's going to happen here is Bomdagor, as soon as Bomdagor's main forces coming down out of the first gateway get their way down this ramp, they're just going to head straight north, and probably through there, and not going to bother getting through this particular ramp. Would be the only way, or getting all the way around this direction, would be the only way that they'd see these barracks, but this is 3 barracks popping up right now, and Bomdagor has no idea what's going on. He's got 3 workers probes going into this first assimilator. There is no gas going up here in Dragos' base, but there are no additional supply depots, just sitting on 19 supply right now, and pretty much it continues to make the worker supply. Oh no, wait, it's just 1 more worker, I suppose. So is going to maneuver his way into getting, there we go. So the Marines, as soon as the barracks are done, the Marines are starting production, and they are going to start hopping out here. There are no SCVs being made, so Bomdagor continuing on with the... oh wait, oh there we go. With the production of his units, has no idea what's going on up in Dragos' base, but this Zealot might... no, the Zealot is just going to basically stay... basically, why do I say basically so often? But the Zealot is going to stay right up at the top. We have 2 Marines already on the field, 3 more on the way, an additional barrack. There is the mistake right there. Calling it right now, making the 4th proxy barracks. There's a reason it's called 2 racks push. It's because if you spend too much money on barracks, look at that. That barracks means that he can't be making the additional units. And if he's not going to make units or SCVs, then there's no point in having anything out there. So the problem here for Dragos is that he made too many buildings. Now we got the forge on its way, a pylon, and probably a couple of other maneuvers at the same time, but at the same... right now we've got the 2 units out there for Bomdagor already, being the Stalker and the Zealot, but he is quite outgunned by these 6 Marines, I believe. 7? 8. Already up to 8 Marines, making 3 more for a total of 11, and they're only up against this many units. Now, the Cybernetics Core is on the way, so in theory, once Bomdagor does have the money for the Mothership Core, Warp Gate is 3/4 of the way done. These Marines have still not moved in yet. The Zealot has moved away from the top of the ramp. Bomdagor now sees this coming in, but these Marines are easily going to take out this first Stalker. Probably the Zealot is not going to be long for this world, and he's going to pop out pretty soon. This Stalker is not going to be able to do anything interesting going on here, but now the probes, he's got to pull all the probes because he did not have the Mothership Core out or a sentry to polish off that, to put a force field up on the ramp was the big problem there, but these probes are doing quite a lot of work, and right now the army supply is now back in Bomdagor's favor. The worker supply, sadly, is now in Dragos' favor, so that, wow, those guys just did not stand up against the probe line of Bomdagor, which was enough to completely combat them. And now the problem is that these 3 stalkers are now going to move their way out, and these 3 stalkers are probably going to be able to take out 4 Marines. I believe so, especially if he does a little bit. There's the micro, moving that guy around, just getting picked off by these Marines who are probably set on a move, and they took out the one guy. But what is going to happen now is these barracks are, even with 3 stalkers, they are going to get out 4 more units, and these 4 Marines are going to do a little bit of damage. If they're not properly microed, they're not properly microed by Dragos, and that does mean that he is going to lose a couple of them, but he does pick off one, if not, does not get the second stalker. I was really expecting that to happen, but going to get additional stalkers down here is Bomdagor, because he's already got a Warp Gate on its way, and for some reason, I think it's the, yep, there it is, it's the average EPM of 17. When you only know that you're supposed to do this one thing, you don't really know much about microing your units, and Bomdagor is really going to micro these units and just make sure that a couple of these units stay. Yes, it wasn't perfect, but I mean, we're probably talking about Gold Lee right now, but he is getting another stalker in there, does have enough minerals for yet another one, but he is going to continue on with the production because he does need to continue on just getting that worker supply up there and getting that income once more. He is pretty low on the income at the moment. If you look over here, there's the income tab. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I need to change to the other option just so I can see things exactly where I'm looking at seeing things, but the mineral income is pretty well set for Dragos right now. He's getting additional, so now he's doing what you should be doing right now is sitting back, waiting, replenishing your sources, just getting up that army again to have enough power to make its way up this wall. Bomdagor still does not have the mothership core, no, nor the sentry. Is that a sentry over there? Nope, that's still just the zealots. The zealot and the stalkers are going to try to chop their way through here. The zealot's taking up the most of the damage here up front, as they are very decent meat shields. They do have a pretty good amount. They have 150. Yeah, well, they do have 160 total. With if you can count up the shields and the health, then the stalkers do have more than the zealots, but I believe the shields are worth just a little bit more. Still bringing in, no, not quite bringing in. Why are these not producing any more units? The problem here that Dragos is finding is that he's not able to micro these units at the same time as still move in the remainder of his Marines. They should be rallied up here to the top of the ramp, bringing them all at the same time. There's 3 more units, still just bringing in the zealots and the stalkers, because I think right now Bomdagor is not able to spend the gas on, or sorry, spend the minerals on the second gas, and here are the Marines still just sitting out here. This is definitely looking at a 23 EPM player. I'm saying here, because this 4 barracks push, I think, probably should have been a 2 barracks push or a 3. I think a 3 barracks push would have been perfect. Had Dragos been able to continue on with the production of the Marines and brought them rallied to the top of the ramp, that would have made all the difference. Continuing on with the production, because the problem is he's got 1,200 minerals right now. He's definitely winning the mineral race. One of the barracks goes down really quick. These 3 zealots are going to run straight up into the base. These stalkers are going to slowly pick off these straggling units at the end. Bomdagor is able to continue bringing warping in units, waiting for warp to cool down, because I think the cooldown is done, but the zealots are going to run up into the base. There's going to be nothing up there other than just a wall of supply depots, which are going to fall pretty quickly. These 3 stalkers are not even bothering to wait to see what happens with these 3 barracks, because when the barracks are up in the sky, they're not producing any units. So if you're not producing any units, then you ain't having no sex. And if you're twerking, then you're probably twerking. And if you're not twerking, then you're probably not worrying about the reference that I'm making right now, because all that's happening is a whole bunch of Protoss guys are showing up at your Terran base. Things are just catching on fire. Dragos has moved off a number of his SCVs, but the problem with the SCVs is they don't fight back, and all they can do is try to repair said supply depot that is on fire. But at the moment now, as the worker supply is actually going in the opposite direction, because Bomdagor is continuing on the production. He's up to 605. So really should be hopping back to his macro and just taking a peeksy, maybe moving up a probe just with him in order to pop down a pylon just up here, but it was not necessary, because the 4 barracks push into strangely produced factory with absolutely no add-ons whatsoever was an unsuccessful build for Captain EPM of 23 of Dragos. Tales from the Ladder have taken on kind of a strange turn at this point. Leave me a comment down below. Send me an email, ziggityzig@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter at ziggityzig. You can check out Bomdagor, BOMD102. Yes. YouTube.com/BOMD102. I'll leave the link down below. Bomdagor sends me all sorts of excellent, hilarious replays. This one, of course, being called No! No, he's found my full barracks, and terrible things have happened, but good things have happened in the case of Bomdagor. Yeah, stay tuned.